Hello and welcome to game number 2 between... Oops. Hit the play button. Hello and welcome to game number 2 between Stephano and NesTea. NesTea's going to be spawning up in the top right-hand corner right here on Antigua Shipyard. And Stephano is going to be spawning as the zerg down here in the bottom left-hand corner. The last game was absolutely phenomenal. Really, it was one-sided. Stephano was unable to put on any pressure whatsoever. So we'll see if Stephano is able to either put on pressure or survive the pressure set upon by NesTea. This time, both of them going fairly standard builds. And there's the standard good luck, have fun. I think NesTea's Korean, so he was maybe threw in a little Korean there at the end. The Overlords slowly moving to their position as usual, doing whatever they want to do. Both of these players are very, very good, known for their play styles. Stephano is known as a very macro-oriented player, while NesTea is known as, I believe he's known as an aggressive player, even doing a double cancel for some extra drones here before the Overlord even starts. He's going to have 12, and then the Overlord saving up as much money as he possibly can, and then getting out those 12 drones without having any real need to build anything. He's just saving up minerals, while Stephano is going for the extractor again. Gonna get the Zergling wings. It didn't work for him last game. We'll see if it works for him this game. If he's able to put on that pressure. Another Overlord slowly moving into position. It's gonna take him a while to get there. It's okay. You've got quite a few minutes, hopefully, before you actually do anything. This time, though, instead of taking, he's not taking an expo. And Stephano is gonna see that there are 6 Zerglings moving out, and he has enough Zerglings to deal with this. Oh, and it looks like a spine crawler rush here. And wow, I did not see that at all. The spine crawler rush didn't really work out. Stephano was able to do exactly what he should have done. But these Zerglings are now almost here. This queen, once this queen gets out, Stephano will be in absolutely phenomenal shape. But now he needs to fall back to his drones. Make sure no real damage is done. This spawning pool preventing any sort of real surround here. Drones getting in on the action. Maybe one of those drones got a kill even. Probably not. But he's feeling like a pro. The queen giving off its inject before it starts moving off. Stephano is now moving out across the map. He sees that his opponent is still retreating. So he feels like he's in a great position. He might even force a couple more lings out from NesTea, but instead he's just going to put a queen here, all by its lonesome, all by itself. This other queen going to move into position, able to block that ramp off. But first it's going to plop down that creep steamer. Anytime now. These Zerglings actually going to finish off the wall. I'm not sure that is a tight wall off. They might be able to still get around, but since there are only 3 moving up here, there's really not much he can do. ST's just waiting for it to happen. Let's move back out a little bit, see what's going on. Stephano deciding he's going to take an extra base while he's put on that pressure, moving back and forth with his this zoom back. And he's actually going for a Baneling's nest, so he could go Baneling bust. And since the queen is light and these Zerglings are light, there would be nothing he could do. The Zerglings would get taken out by the Banelings, and the queen would shortly follow. This is actually very different from the the ZVZ meta that we have today, or so I've noticed, where the Zergs go pure, the Zergling Baneling, and they don't even wall off with their queens anymore. They just go into the heavy macro stage. And they try to get that second base up as soon as possible, and then they move around. This got canceled, and I think the drone died even. Metabolic boost almost complete for almost complete for NesTea, so he's gonna be able to chase down these zerglings unless they have metabolic boost as well. But they can morph into banelings, and that could do a lot of damage here. But the spine crawler is armored, so focusing, if he was to go in there, he would have to have some means to destroy that, which means that he would need to opt for more banelings, more roaches, and it would be tougher to bust than without that spine crawler, which is exactly what spine crawlers are for. This is very difficult to keep up with these and still maintain whatever. But it's actually a very, very interesting game here. One baneling does detonate on two zerglings, keeping them from getting the scout, but just seeing those banelings is enough to know that alright, I'm up against banelings, so what am I going to do? I'm going to go either banelings or I'm going to go for roaches. I'm going to keep up with the roach production, and that's exactly what he's going for. He's going for those roaches and doing exactly what he needs to do, getting that +1 attack. Stephano's will be done a little bit sooner, though, and it is actually surprising. We'll see who goes layer tech first. Stephano going for a third base, but so is NesTea, so they're both pretty much reading each other's builds here without actually seeing it, unless maybe this Overlord saw. Doesn't want to get caught by the Queen, so he's going to move that Overlord back just a little bit. This is before the patch, so they don't move near as fast. And by the patch, I really haven't seen too many replays past the patch. It's a great patch. The Overlord speed is increased, which means that they can get out of sticky situations with relative ease now, as opposed to what they had before. This Queen moving out, probably going to plop down Creep Tumor. Stephano bringing some Zerglings across. Oh, goodness, that's very difficult. Let's, can I turn that off? Stephano going to go here with a Baneling bust. Possibly, he has quite a few Banelings, he has quite a few Roaches, and a lot of Zerglings, but there are no Zerglings here for Stephano to kill, so he can't really do anything right now. If the Banelings detonate on the Roaches, they won't do all that much damage. Sure, they'll do splash damage, but they won't do as much damage as one-shotted Zerglings. In fact, there are no Zerglings on the way for NesTea. Stephano is in a lot of trouble here. He is unable to do any sort of real harassment here. Shooting and shooting as best as he can, but he's going to get out there with quite a few losses here. Let's take a look at the units lost tab. Actually, they're fairly identical. Stephano has lost more, but they've been Zerglings, so it isn't all that big a deal. Roach speed is not on the way, even for Stephano. Stephano is going to stick with this. I'm not sure if I agree with this. Against Zerg, speed is absolutely imperative. His opponent doesn't have speed, so that would just give him all the better to do options with and whatnot. Stephano just now transferring 2 drones. They're like, the party's here, as most drones do when they get to a mineral patch. They mine it. Let's take a look at the resources, not the resources tab, the army tab. Oh, I don't even have to do that. It's up here. Stephano is at a slight disadvantage here. Actually, 20 disadvantage now. I'm not sure what he's opting for. The Roaches are moving out here, and he does have Glial Reconstitution, so he does have the movement speed on the way, and he could even do a timing push here. Against Stephano, Stephano's creep spread is pretty good this game, as well as NesTea's, but there really isn't all that much action going on right now. Just the regular stuff. These Queens picking off these Overlords. He's going to be doing whatever he wants to, really. Going to get that free Overlord. This Overlord's going to escape with his life. Oh, goodness, what's going on here? And the saturation. Let's take a look at the drone count here. The drone count is 71 to 64. As a zerg, you really want to have the same amount of drones as your opponent. Stephano gonna try to open up this backdoor rock. NesTea is aware of this, gonna move up to the top. Let's see if Stephano actually moves up, and he's moving one roach up to see what's going on. And there are a lot of roaches there. Stephano moving right into that. The concave was absolutely phenomenal for NesTea. That was just a huge 2-0 for the roaches on Stephano, but 1-1 for NesTea. NesTea just has absolutely phenomenal positioning here. Able to clean up all this mess. Even going to do a double prong attack. Going to try and get a concave of his own. No, instead he's going to move into the natural. He might... No, the main base. What is he going for? He's just going for the... I can't even tell what he's going for. He's fighting over here. He's doing a lot of damage over here. He's fighting in the natural. He's fighting in the main base. He has just a couple roaches left. The Hydra's even tech switching NesTea to Hydras, and Stephano doesn't have an answer to this. All he has is roaches, and the Hydras just eat roaches alive if they're not dealt with. He needs to get rid of those Hydralisks because their artillery is just absolutely phenomenal. He definitely needs to retreat. There's no way he can take on that army. His reinforcements are coming this way, and he has a lot of Zerglings, so he could try to go for the surround. There is no surround yet, but this is such a small force of units, he could. But the reinforcements for NesTea arrive, and he is definitely doing a good job. But the Zerglings are getting picked off. They don't get the surround that they need. And Stephano is in a lot of trouble here. They have the same amount of supplies, but I feel like the unit composition here for NesTea is so much better. And another run by here by Stephano, so he's going to do a lot more economic damage. Actually, NesTea opted to go for the layer tag in his natural. Probably a good idea with how many roaches are running by here. And he's attacking over here as well. Stephano's multitasking, multi-pronged attacks are getting him back into this because he's having to, he's forcing the reallocation of units and everything from NesTea, and NesTea is not able to deal with it. He's been able to, 25 drones to 64. He's absolutely hurt the economy of NesTea, and I don't think NesTea is able to rebuild. No, he's not even rebuilding any drones, so he knows he has to do something right now. Otherwise, he's just gonna fall behind so far in the macro. Wow, Stephano with 2-2 upgrades versus 2-1. The upgrade advantage is for Stephano. NesTea is now in a concave. There's no way he's gonna come out of this, and with only 24 drones to 64, there's no way he can come back from this. He can't even afford to produce any more drones, because even by the off chance that he's able to do any sort of attacking here against Stephano, and he actually is, but his drone production, his drone count is so low that he would not be able to reinforce nearly as much as Stephano. He's now pushing back here. He has wild reconstitution method. He has that roach speed, and he's just doing all that. And GG is called. NesTea unable to deal with the constant pressure and the two-pronged attacks from Stephano. Stephano just completely, not completely steamrolling, but able to take the game with a very, very reasonable straight up roach build. So that was an absolutely phenomenal game number 2. We're going to see what happens in game number 3. This has been Prony Before 5. I'll see you guys next time.